TBISE, the best in sports entertainment. We're here live at 365 Gym, Fitness Gym. I'm down here with my guy G Hackett. You know, the last time we got Hackett on to come through and do a video with us, to do a session with us, man. It was amazing. A lot of people in the comments were saying we should have a session with G Hackett again. I got my guy. He invited me down here to the gym, man. It's like, this is amazing gym. Everybody in here is working hard, and we got a lot of good footage from here. So, G, you walking you back to the show, TBISE.
I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you.
Yeah, because we had G on last time, as I mentioned, and it went crazy, it went viral. A lot of people was asking a lot of questions. A lot of people was commentating on what G was talking about. A lot of people was disagreeing. Some people was agreeing with him, and people were overall disrespecting his knowledge. So G, what you got going on? What's going on with you?
We just getting ready. I got Joseph Fat Ortiz. He was fighting on the 16th at Valley Forge Casino.
Okay. And
then I got Jabril Noble. He's fighting August 31st, Collingswood Theater.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we definitely going to be there to cover both events as well. So what's going on with Brill, man? I remember Brill was a young kid, man. I know his family, but to see him, doing his thing and taking a career serious as far as boxing,
yeah.
It's good to see. So what's going on with Brill? What's your thoughts on Brill as a fighter?
I mean, we just taking it one fight at a time. My thoughts of him as a fighter, I think he's everything a coach would want because the hard work, he listened. No, Jones. Come on, yo, back on the sprint, up and down. Yo, you back up again, I'm saying, let's go. Come on, bro, one more. All right. You do what I ask him, and then he get in there and he do his part. He let his hands go.
Yeah, turn for that. Get an angle, Shane. Breathe, make sure you breathe, Shane. Stay in shot. Touch the ring, he's resting, Try to handle that. Back down the middle. Stab that body. I'm there. Uppercut, Shane. Let him go, man, let him go. Wait, mix your speed now. Mix that speed, go back down, Shane. Go with the rest. Start that hold up top, finish it.
I can't be too judgmental of him,
Exactly. So, the last podcast you spoke about, you've seen Brill in the ring with some real killers. You've seen him in there with some of the top names.
Yes, sir.
And you said that he was able to hold his own.
Yes, sir.
And now he has opportunity. What's Brill record? With
5-0, 4 knockouts.
Okay. So he's 5-0, 4 knockouts. Looking for his sixth victory. And possibly a knockout. So he's been doing his thing. So how long have you been training Brill, in boxing?
So I think it's been about 5 years now. Been about 5 years, yep.
Okay. And what do you consider Brill? What kind of fighter? He's a boxer, puncher?
Yeah, I would say boxer, puncher. He could do a little bit of both, and he don't mind getting dirty if you have to. So, yeah, definitely a boxer, puncher though.
And this upcoming fight, what is it? This is a 10-round fight? 8-rounder?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So in the media and in the boxing world, we see a lot of Philly fighters. Like Philly has a lot of fighters that's like popular in boxing.
For sure.
We have a lot of names in the world of boxing. Just recently we just seen, probably the top dog in Philly, Boots.
Yes.
Just go against Avanesian. What's your thoughts on that fight?
I mean, it was crazy. The night was crazy. Just to see that many people down South Philly at the Wells Fargo, where they play basketball and hockey. We there for a boxing match. That was great.
Exactly.
And then the way he ended it, well, he didn't end it, the corner did.
Yeah.
But he put a good whooping on Avanesian.
Yeah, I thought they was gonna probably stop it a little soon. I thought he broke his nose or something.
Yeah.
Earlier in the fight. Because he started bleeding from the nose. I'm like, I thought he might have broke his nose, and then I saw like he probably broke his jaw too. So
yeah,
he was getting caught with so many clean shots.
Yeah.
Now people were, of course, with Boots' performance, I thought I gave Boots a A, but because of the stoppage. But people was criticizing him, saying he took a lot of hits and shouldn't have been getting hit with.
Yeah.
What do you say about that?
I mean, people don't understand also like being in a certain mind state where your goal is to finish this guy. It's not really to be pretty. It's not really to be sharp. Not saying he shouldn't be, but I think his goal was to get rid of the guy, and that's what he did. So I can't be mad at him now. To be judgmental or to give my opinion, yeah, I think he could have jabbed a little more and stayed away a little more, but that wasn't where his mind was. His mind was destruction, and that's what he sought out to get, and that's what happened. So I can't be mad at the man.
Exactly. So, like you spoke about the actual event,
Yeah.
You know, I don't think I've ever been to a boxing event in Philly that was like that, honestly.
No.
In my opinion. Like,
Not
I've never been to a event where everybody came out. You know, we had a lot of fighters that fought here in Philly that was from Philly, but I don't think nobody had from my experiences, it was a turnout. It was like they say, it was like a movie there that night.
Yeah, the last time they said it was an event like that in South Philly, well, in Philadelphia, I think was like the early 80s or late 70s. So
Wow.
I was proud to be a part of something like that. You know what I mean? To be there, to witness it.
And to see Boots, you know, to be successful and to be, you know, in the position that he's in. A lot of people say the Crawford fight, but if the, you know, there's a lot of politics, a lot of things where it was a lot of people see, hey, the fight probably not gonna happen right now.
Yeah.
What do you think should be next for Boots outside of the Crawford fight? What do you think he should fight?
I just think any of the champions at 147 pounds. You got Brian Norman, you got Barrios, and you got Ennis. So I think it should be one of those guys.
Okay. Do you think the promoter, you know, the whole geographical promoter aspect is going to be, you know, make it difficult to get these fights?
Yeah, it's definitely going to make it difficult only because the guys who hold belts and their promotion companies, they're not going to want to release the belts. And what I mean by that is they're not going to want to risk after just winning the belt, going in there and, you know, losing to a Boots Ennis. I'm saying that because I think out of those 4 guys, Barrios might have had his belt a little longer. The other 2, Ennis and Brian Norman, they just received theirs. So it's like they don't really want to give it up. But you got to give the people what they want, too.
Yeah. So, you know, with Eddie Hearn and with you know, now the Boots is with Eddie Hearn.
Yeah.
We see that Eddie Hearn, you know, has the ability to actually promote fighters,
Yeah.
you know, promote big events. Now, do we think we could possibly get we can't get none of those fighters like Barrios that you mentioned? Do you think that we'll get you know, Conor Benn or somebody like that?
I think we can get Conor Benn, and I hope we get Conor Benn. And I would like, you know what I mean, if he get Conor Benn, I would like for it to be over there because Boots would get, you know what I mean, everything that he's worth if he go over there.
Because it'll probably be a bigger event over there. Now, Conor Benn, I think Boots probably would, of course, stop Conor Benn. Probably 4 or 5 rounds, in my opinion. I think Conor Benn kind of get hit a lot. So I think that's gonna be perfect for Boots. Now, with that fight, if Boots was to get Conor Benn,
yeah.
Now, do you think Conor Benn has the ability to survive in that fight, or do you agree that he possibly will get knocked out as well if they fight?
I mean, any man, if they decide in their mind to survive, is capable of surviving. You know what I mean? It is a fight between 2 men. It's not like we talking about a machine versus a man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It can happen, but I feel like skill-wise, Conor Benn he wouldn't be able to keep up with Boots. I don't think there's nothing that he can do skill-wise to keep up with Boots. And defense-wise, I don't think there's anything he can do to keep Boots off of him. Okay. So I think it would just be a tough night for Conor Benn.
And just looking at the overall landscape in boxing, you know, we have multiple different promoters, different fighters. Who do you think has the strongest stable of fighters out of all the promoters at this time?
Well, at this very point, I think it's spread out.
Yeah.
I think it's spread out because guys have been moving to different promotional companies. Promotional companies have been losing fighters, and, you know, so on and so forth. So I think it's spread out between, of course, Matchroom, Golden Boy, PBC, and Top Rank. I think it's spread out.
All right. So the most, you know, recently we have I guess speculation about a fighter, you know, who's, you know, one of the top fighters at 135, possibly leaving Top Rank. Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah.
Where do you think he's going to go, or do you think he's going to leave Top Rank?
I think it's tough to say, man, because I feel like the people he deal with management-wise, which is Jay Prince, from watching boxing, Jay Prince has only been dealing with Top Rank, so it's going to be tough to see him go anywhere else.
Okay.
But I would like to see him somewhere else just to see how it plays out. I think anywhere he go, he's an asset. I think anywhere he go, he's like somebody worth promoting. So I think it'll still be a great job being done, but I don't know. Honestly.
So, you know, Shakur is saying, hey, you know, he opted out of the contract. They offered him a deal, but he said, no, I'm going to test free agency. If he decides to sign back with Top Rank, Bob Arum, do you think he gets that tank fight?
I think because of what that fight means to boxing, I think that fight does happen.
Okay, because you've seen, like I said, you've seen Wilder and Fury do it. They was on 2 different platforms. Now, you got Shakur, and he's in the stable with Top Rank, and it was mentioned that a lot of this narrative they saying that like Top Rank doesn't promote African American fighters.
Yeah.
Now, is there some truth to that, or what do you think about that?
I mean, I haven't dealt with them myself, but watching them, it is like kind of like they don't put that extra foot in there.
Okay.
But I also believe boxing has to do with the people you attract. If you attract people, you won't have that problem. I think Top Rank just go about it in a way where, we're not open to any new ideas. We're gonna do it how we do it, and whatever happens, happens. But I also think it has to do with the fighter. If the fighter he's the type that can pull people in, like let's say T.O. T.O. isn't black, but T.O. is exciting. You know what I mean? Because he's controversial, and he does things that the normal people do, dance and stuff like that, stuff that would attract people. So that you just never know. I can't really say that because I haven't dealt with him. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I was at the Shakur fight when he fought Artem. I just thought that being there, people were actually exiting the fight. I mean, in like the 8th, 9th round, people were like leaving the building. Yeah. What's your thoughts on Shakur and his performance against Artem?
For me, it's not the performance. I think the performance is a Shakur performance. He's going to be very sharp. He's going to make sure you don't touch him, and he's going to be hitting you. But it's not going to be a whole lot of action. I think what people get messed up with Shakur, and I think what we do is we mislead ourselves. We mislead ourselves because when we listen to him talk in the press conferences, he's talking like he's going all out.
Yeah.
But if you remember who Shakur is, that's not what's about to happen.
Yeah.
But I think what happens is we get caught up watching him and we're like, oh man, Shakur said he gonna beat his ass. We gonna really tune into this one. Let's see what he do. Yeah. So he kind of get us all riled up, and then we go out there and we watch him, and then it's like, he ain't do nothing. But we saying he didn't do nothing because it didn't match the talk. But he actually did go out there and beat Shakur. He boxed the guy. Didn't get hit as much as most fighters. And he won clean, but it's like the build up isn't matching the fight.
Yeah. So because I think we see Tank. Tank is like, yo, look, I'm gonna stop this guy.
Yeah.
And then he's getting him out of there.
Yeah.
And then he's and then Shakur is, possibly on a collision course to fight Tank. So it's like he's being compared to Tank.
Right.
So people are looking for him to be dominant, especially when he says, "I'm gonna knock you out."
Right.
And then he don't deliver the knockout. So, just looking at those two performances, now we spoke about Artem and Shakur. What do you think about from what you saw from Tank and Frank Martin?
What I saw, like far as Frank Martin was trying his best to box Tank, but it was happening at a speed that was almost like too much for him. Well, it was not almost. It was too much for him. It was happening at a speed that he couldn't handle, and Tank was closing in. And when we got to about the 6th round, you seen Tank unloading. Yeah. I mean, he was almost hitting his mark. Then in the 7th round, you watched him hit his mark, and then in the 8th round, he got the knockout. You know what I mean? It was because Frank had never been in there with somebody like Tank Davis, where they could punch like that, speed like that, and then putting the pressure on like that. So it just became too much for him, and he got caught with a great shot, tightened him up, and then
got him out of there.
Straight left hand, got him out. Yep.
So a lot of people were saying like Shakur has more skill than Tank.
Yeah.
But from my observation of the fight, it seemed like the skill was like they like both like right there.
Yeah.
I don't really see that big of a difference. As far, it's different styles, but the skill is like they both are very skilled. But Tank just has that extra, that punch.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at your eye test, you're looking at Shakur, you're looking at Tank.
Right.
And you had to just offer skill.
Right.
I ain't talking take away the power, so forth and so on. Where do you rank them? 1 and 2. as far as who you think has the better skill?
I mean, if it was from a scale of 1 to 10, Shakur's skills would be a 10 and Tank's would be like an 8 3/4. You know what I mean? The reason I'm saying that is because Shakur knows he doesn't punch like Tank, so he's not gonna get as ruthless, and his style is very neat and precise. You know what I'm saying? Tank, on the other hand, he can be that way, but he know he can punch. So that causes him to get a little more reckless. Not reckless in a reckless way where he'll hurt himself, but more so, I know if I hit you with one of these, you're going to go out.
Yeah.
So he opened up a little more. So, yeah, I would say Shakur is a little bit more sharper skill-wise when it comes to Tank Davis, because Shakur knows he's not a big puncher. You know what I mean? But he's going to pinpoint you to death. But Tank, on the other hand, is a big puncher, so he gonna start letting the big shots go, you know?
Yeah, it's like the accuracy with Tank and the power is just like it's dangerous, man.
For sure.
Because the punches is like it's not like wow, it's like they land in. It's like he's picking a spot and is getting there, and the power is like devastating.
Yeah.
And it's getting these guys out. Because I don't think Frank Martin even realized that he was even hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, when you get caught like that, like from watching it, you lose everything. You see his hands drop, his body straightened up, and then that left hand, he didn't even see that left hand coming.
You think he felt that left hand shot? Think he felt it?
That last shot?
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible he felt it, but then him hitting the ground might have kind of, woke him up a little bit, but his body still was in shock.
Yeah.
His nerves were still jumpy, so it was hard for him to get up.
So when you get when fighters get hit with shots like that,
yeah.
Normally, do they? Because people say I don't even remember. Like,
yeah,
I don't know what happened. Like,
well, that's usually when the guy get knocked out. Like when the guy go to sleep. Guy go to sleep, he don't remember.
Okay, but so do you think Frank kind of remember the shot? Like, because
I think he remember getting caught with that uppercut. Yeah, I think he remember that.
Because he was still trying to drift to the right, like he was trying to get away, get out of the way. So it was like he still had a little bit of his equilibrium was off, but he still was trying to just get out of the way of what was coming next.
Right.
All right, so now we fast forward after those two fights, and it was speculation that Tank was going to be fighting Lomachenko.
Yeah.
And now they're saying Loma's basically backing out of the fight.
Right.
What's your thoughts on that?
A lot of people been getting on me about it because I've been saying that Lomachenko isn't wrong. One reason I was saying he's not wrong, but Lomachenko doesn't owe anybody anything. He's done enough in boxing. He's been through enough in boxing where he don't have to fight Tank.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He's still got a great resume. He's still done a lot in boxing, 2 gold medals and things like that. The reason I'm not like wishing for that fight is because Lomachenko isn't who he used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at this very moment, Shakur and Tank are at their best.
Correct.
So that's why I want to see that fight. But Lomachenko, what I try to explain to some people too is we don't know if it's a financial issue. Just because he's not saying that don't mean that should be X'd out. That might be an issue. The fact that he may feel like he's not getting paid enough to fight a Tank Davis. But it never came about. But like I try to explain to people, he's from a different culture. So he's not going to just blurt out, man, they weren't paying me enough.
Yeah, exactly.
F them.
The language barrier, he can't say that.
Right. You know what I mean? But we see a lot of that, and people think they know boxing because that you got fighters blurting out stuff, and all these media outlets keep saying, oh, I just heard from a reliable source that it wasn't enough money, this and that. But we don't know. But what I'm saying is with Lomachenko, that might be the case. We don't know. He just didn't say that. He just said he wasn't interested. And when the guys use words like that, interest, that's what that means to me.
Yeah, like, the money wasn't there.
Yeah, I'm not interested because they didn't tickle me.
But if you look at, like you mentioned, he's from a whole other country.
Right.
And normally when you have two fighters from two different, especially in boxing, you have two different fighters. You have Tank who's from the United States, and then you have Lomachenko. He's from a whole different country. When you put those two fighters together,
right?
Normally, the money is like plentiful.
Right. I think it's just, again, it's an issue where Lomachenko is not who he once was. So he don't have people rallying behind him. You know what I mean? Like he used to. He's still a great fighter. Not taking nothing from him. Still a great fighter. But I think his mindset is more so, I want to ride off into the sunset healthy. I don't want to get knocked out my last fight, because that could be his last fight.
So do you expect that fight gets made? Maybe if they can figure the money out, or whatever the case may be. Not saying the money is the issue, but whatever the issue is, if they're able to iron it out, and then come to a deal. Do you think Tank stops him? What's your thoughts on that fight?
I mean, money fixes a lot of things. Not everything, but it fixes a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I think in a situation like that, a fight between two men, I think enough money will make you get out there. If they did fight, I think it would be a great chess match for Tank. It would, we would have to see a different mental level come out for Tank, because Lomachenko he just put together. He well put together. But I do think 9th round, 10th round, Tank catches up to him and get him out.
So, just now we have the possibility of Lomachenko, possibly backing out of the fight,
right.
And people are calling for a November fight with Shakur.
Right.
Do you think that's a possibility for November?
I think it is. I think it is because the buildup is enough. We know that these guys been in the ring with each other as far as sparring. The camps know each other. They both got little stories about each other. It's a lot behind it that they can use to build this fight. Also, it's just two of the hottest youngins in the game.
Mecca Care LLC. We give you an abundance of what you need. We know what you need. We can literally read your mind. Look at me, I'm staring right into your soul. We're gonna give you an abundance of it. Mecca Care LLC has been rated #1 in Pennsylvania for home care agency since 2020. They got the best pay, the best care, medical, dental, 401k. If you're located in Philadelphia County, Bucks County, Chester County, or Montgomery County, call today at
215-644-8341.
Oh, hello, is this Mecca Care? I just called the number that was here on the screen. This is crazy.
So we got Crawford versus Madrimov coming up. Madrimov got 10 fights. A lot of people are criticizing Crawford for taking this fight, or fighting somebody who doesn't have the experience that he has. What's your thoughts on that fight?
I mean, this is boxing. He's going up to a new weight class, so he can't be too picky at this very point. You know what I mean? Because guys are occupied the way they are, and Crawford's desire is to go up to 54. So if this is the best y'all have to offer, I'm taking it. And Madrimov is not someone to sleep on anyway. So
exactly,
I like the fight.
Exactly. So people, the media just criticizes people, and and they like to make it seem like somebody's ducking somebody or so forth and so on. And but like you said, he's moved up to 154. He want to possibly ease into the weight. He don't want to jump out there. Not saying he can't, but he just don't want to jump out there. He just want to kind of fill it out. And this will be, a good test for him. What do you think? You think Crawford stops Madrimov, or what do you think?
I've been watching Madrimov, honestly, and what I've came up with, it's going to be a great fight, but I think Crawford a win by decision, 8 rounds to 4.
Okay.
Something like that. I think it's going to be a great fight. Might even be some knockdowns, but I don't think he's going to knock him out. I think it's going to be one of them performances by Crawford.
All right, cool. So Crawford, like you said, he's not a fighter like you mentioned earlier who has the right to kind of pick and choose who he want to fight, man. He's been through the ringer. He's been in the sport for a minute. He's been he's won titles. He's been around for a minute. He's so for him to choose a fighter that he wants to fight, or whatever the case may be, or take his time, ease into the weight, he deserves it. You know what I'm saying? He's been undisputed in 2 different weight classes, so forth and so on. And
yeah, undisputed in 2 different weight classes, champion in 3 weight classes. So I mean, you gotta get a guy's respect. The funny part is nobody get mad when anybody else do it. You know what I mean? So, and I like the fight. Madrimov is not a lay down type of guy.
Yeah.
I think he's one of those guys who can surprise you. So I think Crawford is training very hard. He's very focused for this fight, and this is an opportunity for Madrimov. It's not just a championship fight. This is an opportunity for him to now be looked at as one of the top guys, not only in his division, but in boxing. So Crawford has to go in there and be sharp. He's very sharp.
Exactly. Imagine, like you said, he can punch too.
Yeah.
So you got, so Crawford probably, I don't think he's gonna take him lightly. Now, on this card, and this card is a stacked card, man.
Absolutely.
Got a lot of good fights, man. You got Pitbull. That fight, that's gonna be a good fight, man.
Yeah.
Pitbull and Valenzuela.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a good fight. Who you like in that fight?
I like that fight because I know it's automatically going to be action. But my pick would be Pitbull Cruz. He's the more experienced guy. He's been in it with the better competition, and you know even though he's one track minded, he's great at it. And Ryo's gonna have to pick around that. If Ryo's is not ready to box all night and score points, then you know he's in trouble. I think if he tries to war with Pitbull Cruz, it'll all go wrong for him.
Yeah, because you know Ryo he gets hit and then he go for gusto. He starts swinging, trying to get the knockout. Because you see he's been hurt in a lot of fights, you know, and but he's been finding a way to win.
Yes.
Pitbull Cruz, he's been tested, man. You know, he went 12 rounds with Tank. Not many people can say that, especially as of recent. Tank was knocking everybody out. So Pitbull, he just beat Rolly Romero.
Yeah.
So Pitbull is, you know, and he knocked out Rolly. So
right.
Pitbull is, you know, he's a good name, and a lot of people don't really want to fight him as well. Like I noticed that, like a lot of people don't really want to get in the ring with him, but he has the belt now, so he's going to be getting people who want to call him out going forward. Now we do have, you know, some other fight. Andy, you have Cruz and Jarrell Miller, heavyweight.
Andy Ruiz.
I'm sorry, Andy Ruiz.
Yeah.
And Jarrell Miller, they're going to be fighting on that card as well.
Yeah.
Miller he served a suspension. He's just getting back. How many fights he had since he's been back?
I think this is the first one.
Yeah, so he's been on that suspension, but you know, good to see him, you know, getting back into boxing. But I don't think he should pick right away, man. That's going to be a tall task for him.
Yeah, I think honestly myself, I think it's a dangerous pick for both guys. Because Ruiz been out for a while, and he's not the biggest heavyweight. Fast hands, good power, yes, but you know what I mean, we ain't seen him. And then Big Baby Miller, his last fight was to Dubois. He lost in the later rounds. I think it was like the 10th, 11th round. He got stopped. Either guy could win this fight, if you ask me. But we know that Ruiz is the more seasoned fighter. He's the better boxer. You know what I mean? He's been up against a lot better competition. But you can't sleep on people at heavyweight.
Exactly. Especially with them 8 ounces or 10 ounce glove, whatever they fight in them joints, you get caught. You get caught with that 10 ounce glove on the chin. It's over now.
Yeah.
Also, we have David Morrell's on that card. He's waiting to get his turn. He's been calling out David Benavidez. So we possibly see that in the future. He's a good young fighter as well. Now we do have a fighter that's on the card. Andy Cruz, as I mentioned. Andy Cruz he's training with Bozy, I believe, right?
Yep.
And he's been improving, from my understanding, from what I saw from him. And I was looking at him online and things that he's doing, and it seemed like he's learning the Bozy way. He's learning how to how to pace himself. It seemed like a lot of Bozy fighters, they be like real fundamentally sound.
Right.
It seemed like he built them out from like being real fundamental.
Yeah, that's kind of his mix. He wants you to be able to box in there and box off your jab. Make sure you're moving your head. Be defensively responsible. Just be a fighter in there and use your ring generalship. Mm-hmm. Don't go in there and just fighting. Like you're not understanding what's going on.
Exactly, because even if you look at Boots, man, Boots, you could just see like Boots is just like fundamentally, like his fundamentals is like crazy. Like he ain't even. It just look like it's just easy. Like boxing is like easy for him.
Right. You
don't see him like trying too much. It's like he just like everything he do is just like looks real easy.
Yeah, he's been putting it in for a long time. He's been around great fighters his entire life. So he understands the game and he understands how to correct his mistakes and things like that. So that's why when we talk about like a Boots Ennis, it looked easy because he's been doing it for so long.
So now in the boxing world, we just got another announcement, Canelo versus Berlanga.
Yeah.
Canelo was going to fight Berlanga. A lot of people were saying that it's too soon for Berlanga to get this fight. What's your thoughts on Berlanga and Canelo?
It's not the fight I wanted to see. It's not Benavidez and Canelo. Mm-hmm. That's the fight we wanted to see. But we get Berlanga, we take Berlanga. The reason we take Berlanga is because Berlanga, at the end of the day, he can punch. He did build his name for us to know who he is, but I do believe he's out of his league with this one.
Yeah.
I think Canelo just has too much experience for Berlanga. If Berlanga tries to bang with him, Canelo can box and bang back. So I just think, it's a tough situation for him, but not so tough because at the same time he will be getting paid well.
Exactly. So do you think Berlanga, not saying he is, but do you think this is like an opportunity for him to kind of go after the bag? He like, I'll take it.
I mean, listen, in life, if you don't take chances,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, nothing happens. So with a fight like this, you have to take a chance. I mean, only thing I don't want to see, I don't want to watch this fight and he's acting the same way Jamel Charlo was acting. Almost like, all right, I'm going to just survive.
Yeah.
I want him just to go in there and try to actually win because he could win. Canelo is not unbeatable. You know what I mean? He's somebody who has losses and he can lose, but it's going to take a lot of work to get it done. I just want to see him try. You know what I mean? If he tries to win, then I feel better about Berlanga moving forward.
Yeah, Berlanga don't get in there, and get gun shy.
Yeah.
Stop throwing punches, start moving around the ring.
Yeah.
We saw that with the Charlo. I ain't gonna lie, Charlo had me convinced, because I like the Charlo brothers, man. He had me convinced. He was like, I'm doing this for the culture, all that stuff. And then, when he got in the ring, it just didn't transpire into what I thought he was going there and fight. You know what I mean? But I think once he got in there and felt that power from Canelo, because people underestimate Canelo's power.
Yeah.
Canelo can punch, man.
I don't think it's that because we've seen him beat enough people up.
Yeah.
I think it's the check. The check is, when you're getting paid great money, you know what I mean, you'll lie to everybody else around you, you'll lie to the people, you'll lie to yourself. You know what I mean? Because, you get ready to make some great money. So I think that's what it is when guys get offered the Canelo fight. You know what I mean? They don't turn it down because it's the check. Of course I'm going to fight.
Yeah, money make the boxing world go around. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to get paid. Everybody want the opportunity. But then once they get in there and they got the fight, and normally the check is when did the check normally given to the fighters? Before the fight or after the fight?
Right after. Yeah, right after. As soon as we get out the ring, doctor, make sure you're okay. Go ahead and get your check.
There's no direct deposit.
Yeah, we could do it like that too, though. That's just an option, though.
Okay, but yeah, so you got also on that card you got Danny Garcia, and Lara.
Great fight.
I think this fight. Well, Lara's been at 54 forever, basically.
Yeah.
And Danny just moving up. So this is going to be a good fight, man.
I think this fight is going to be at 60, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be at 60. Lara's been competing at 60.
Wow.
And Danny, I think again, this is a great fight. It's a legacy fight. This is a big name for both guys. Danny, this is a money opportunity again. But one thing I like about Danny, and I know about Danny, he gonna go out there and actually fight.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So the fact that Lara is slowing down over the years, I think this might be the perfect time for Danny. But to be truthful, it is a 50-50 fight. You know what I mean? I don't have a favorite in this fight because I know what both guys are capable of. I'm just looking forward to it.
Yeah, and Lara is, he's one of those fighters because they always talk about the Colombian style. Like he's like
Cuban.
I'm sorry, my bad. I'm sorry. Excuse me. The Cuban style.
Right.
And he has he's 1,000% the Cuban style of boxing. Like, and he frustrated. It's like real frustrating. I heard to fight the Cubans, from my understanding. What is it that they do that makes it so so?
They have great fundamentals, like we was talking about, and they have great fun. They have a lot of fun. They have a lot of fun because they understand you got to be relaxed in the ring. You can't be in there and be all tense because you'll miss everything. You'll miss your punches and you'll miss a punch coming, and you'll get hurt in there. So Cubans, they big on distance, they big on rhythm and timing, they big on speed, they big on shot placement. You know what I mean? So when you get a well-groomed Cuban fighter, you know what I mean, you got trouble in front of you.
Yeah, and Lara was a lot of people thought Lara beat Canelo.
Yeah,
a lot of people thought he won that fight. So he was frustrating Canelo, and he wasn't getting hit. But just fast forward and looking at the boxing landscape. We have a lot of great fights coming up. The year isn't over. We can possibly get maybe one or two, three good fights. Yeah. Outside of the fights that are present right now, what are some of the fights you possibly want to see this year?
I would like to see Keyshawn Davis fight Frank Martin. I would like to see.
Hold on. Before you go into that, do you think that Frank is too soon for Frank after getting knocked out like that? Do you think it's too soon to fight somebody like Keyshawn?
Hey man, we here. What we gonna do? We gonna see. It's so obvious and it's so like I don't know the word I'm looking for, but to just keep going back and fighting guys that you could beat, that's cool sometimes. But listen, it was Tank. You took a shot, you got hurt. All right, get back on your horse though. Don't saddle. Don't grab the saddle and just start walking with him. Like that's like, come on. We came out here for a rodeo. Give us what we want. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Go ahead and fight.
All right. So outside, so you said Keyshawn. And,
Keyshawn and Frank Martin. I would love to see that fight. I would love to see Fury and Usyk too. I would love to see. I mean, we scheduled for Better Biev and Bivol.
Yeah, that's.
But
gonna
I
be
just
a good
can't
one.
wait to see that fight.
Yeah, that's gonna be man. That's gonna be a good one.
I would like to see Inoue and Cool Boy again at 26.
And over here.
Yeah, in America.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some fights out there. It's a few. It's a few I want.
Okay.
Bud and Boots, of course.
Yeah. But, so I mean, Crawford fighting right now. So I don't know if he probably be able to turn around and fight again this year. He's fighting in August. I don't know if he can. Probably December, if he can, if he probably can.
I mean, these guys spend a lot of time away from family and stuff like that. I don't think he would want to do that. You know what I mean? I think because he has kids, he got young kids, he wanted a little time off to go spend time with his kids and his wife. You know what I mean? So I can't be mad at him for that.
All right. Now, another fight we didn't mention, we got Virgil Ortiz.
Yeah.
He's fighting a tough fight as well.
Yeah.
Was it Bohachuk?
Bohachuk, yeah. I think he's Ukrainian too, or Russian.
Yeah, he got like 24 fights, like 23 knockouts, something like that.
I think he got all knockouts.
Yeah, so he
but one loss.
Yeah. So that's a tough fight for Virgil.
Yeah, I mean, but Virgil is like still young, still entering his prime. He hasn't hit his prime years yet. I don't think so. I think Virgil is just a big, tough, mean kid, man. And, he's dangerous for a lot of guys. His punch output, his punch power. I mean, he has pretty good speed. Not the fastest guy, but he got pretty good speed for a guy his size. And Bohachuk, I'm just interested to see what he brings to the table. I don't really know too much about him, you know what I mean, except the fact that he is a puncher. But we'll see what happens.
Okay. Now, just to kind of paint the perfect scenario for a boxer, someone who's looking to get into boxing, someone who has a skill, has the ability to fight. What do you think a boxer needs to surround himself with in order to be successful? I'm talking about like, what do you the total package? What do you think a fighter needs to have in place in order to have a prosperous career? Barring injury, being knocked out or something like that. What do you think a boxer needs?
I mean, the first thing I would say is great decision making outside of the ring. You know what I mean? If you don't have no business in a club or a bar, things like that, don't even do it. A girl trying to get you to come see her before a fight, don't even do it. You know what I mean? Things like that. Also, he wouldn't need any yes men around him. Yes men are not good because they can yes you into a situation you don't want to be into.
Yeah.
I would say listen. A great listener. You know what I mean? You got to be a great listener. And you got to be able to understand and process things and, be able to work hard. Just a supporting cast of people who are willing to work with you.
Okay. All right, so in boxing, if you had to choose, between the two, as far as being a manager or a promoter, what would you choose and why?
I would choose to be a promoter probably, because I think I would be great at, putting the card together as far as matchups, and then I think I would be great at actually letting people know about the fights. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the job of a promoter, letting people know and making sure tickets get sold. I don't think it's fully on the fighters to sell tickets because fighters have to get ready to fight.
Exactly.
So I want them to be, ready to do their job, and I'll do mine. My job is to make sure everybody knows. So I will be on it.
So another question, now you choose to be a promoter. What does it take to be a good promoter? Like, what is it? What's kind of the key concept to being successful as a promoter in your opinion?
I mean, I think you got to have a great eye for talent, a great eye for hard work, a great eye for matchups, and I think you got to be a gambler. Got to be a gambler.
Yeah. Do you think promoters lose a lot of money with these fighters nowadays?
Sometimes I would say 50-50.
So, how do promoters make their money off of the fighters more so? Is it more so ticket sales, endorsements?
I mean, it could be ticket sales, it could be endorsements, things like that, sponsors, things like that. But then also, if a smaller promoter had a guy who a bigger promotion team was interested in, they could either sell his contract or go into business with those guys, or get used as a B-side fighter and end up beating their fighter, and then now you the man.
Yeah, that's all it takes is that win. You hear people say that all the time.
Yeah.
Or you've seen it happen over and over again in boxing, where the unexpected happens. People don't expect the cash cow to win, and he ends up getting stopped or he'll lose a decision.
Yeah.
So with being a promoter in boxing, you see a lot of these promoters. Is it true that they pick and choose who's going to be the big name, or is it something that they pick and choose, or just based off skill? Like, this person had the skill, so I'm going to rock with this guy.
I don't think it's all skill, because if it was all skill, some of these fighters we wouldn't even be talking about. I think the number one thing is who can fill the seats. You know what I mean? I think the number two thing is who actually can fight. You know what I mean? But filling the seats is most important, because that way everybody make money. You know what I mean? But I feel like if you got the right fighters, like good solid fighters who have good traits, I think any promoter can make it happen.
Yeah, and we're seeing Danny Garcia now from Philly, who's getting into the promotional game.
Yeah,
he's promoting his fighters. Shout out to Danny for doing his thing.
Sure.
So, with boxing, and I'm not gonna hold you too long now. With boxing, what do you love the most about boxing? What makes you get up every day to come to the gym?
I mean, I'm a physical person. I love being around fighting. You know what I mean? I just love that part of it. And I think helping young men and young women reach their goals as, to wanting to be a fighter. You know what I mean? Everybody has goals and everybody has things they want to do. And some of these guys, they don't know what they want. You know what I mean? But I like seeing people do something. I don't want these guys to be out in the street. I don't want them to just throw their life away. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
At the end of the day, you don't have to be a fighter. I mean, but boxing is just one of them things. You around it, man. It's a great feeling.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Learning how to fight. You know what I mean? And just being around the guys. But boxers, most of the time, are cool people, because we taught to be, very mannerable. You know what I mean? Take your time, respect people. And you have to learn respect, because you can disrespect a fighter and the next thing you know, he beating you up.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You going off of what you think. It ain't always true.
So we know about that. I saw you in the street. Next year again.
So you know what I mean? You learn a lot of respect, man, things like that. So that's what I just love about it.
And boxing is like, it's a lifestyle, basically. For those who want to be successful, like you said before, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Even though you may see Bernard Hopkins, he's not fighting anymore, but he seems like he's in good shape, man, because he's like, it's like his life. Floyd is another fighter like that. He didn't stop fighting. I mean, he's still fighting now, but exhibitions, but he's still in shape. Bernard is still in shape. Those fighters live the lifestyle, so they can get up in the ring and and fight at any time. And
right.
And if you see them in the street and if you want to try them, thinking that they old, they might beat on you, man.
Yeah.
You better, so be careful. But yeah, man, I got my man G Hackett, man. We're gonna continue to do this, man. As far as be giving content out, make sure the content is available for you guys, because as you can see, you guys learn a lot. And a quick question: somebody asked me something, G. I got a message. It was like, what's a good way for a person to cut weight, for someone who's out of shape and they want to use boxing as a tool to get in shape? What should they do as far as eating, working out? What what's a quick trick that they can do to kind of lose weight?
I mean, we all know it's the obvious, the food, you know. So of course the diet starting off, the exercise, just being disciplined. You know what I mean? You got to stay away from the bread, the sugars, the sodas, the candy, the chips, things like that. Stay away from all the heavy starches. I mean, but you don't want to exit all the way out. Sometimes like mashed potatoes and things like that, as long as it's not too much, you can take in. Hitting that road, going running. If you're not able to run, well, get up and walk. You know what I mean? Putting your calisthenics in, sit-ups, push-ups, pull-ups, dips, whatever you're able to do. Whatever you're able to do, do it. You know what I mean? And when it start to become too easy, do more. You know what I mean? That's what I would say.
Okay. So there you have it. So anyone, you know, if you have any questions, man, you can, you know, how can they reach out to you, G?
Greg Hackett 86 on Instagram, Greg Hackett 215 on X, and Greg Hackett on Facebook. GHB TV on YouTube.
Okay. So there you have it, man. It's G Hackett with TBISE, the best in sports entertainment. We out.
Appreciate y'all.
Sure.
Yeah, you know, ooh, I need this right here in the 2X. Look, get this right here. H. Holloman to Hollowman. You understand what I'm saying? Crazy.
Bro, you need some help, man.
What's up, kid? You know how this section is crazy right here. You see what's going on right here. But you know I'm a sweatsuit guy, as you can see.
I got something.
You got you got something. Let's see what you're talking about. Oh man. Oh. This like an old school pack of annihilators. There's too many flavors, man. There's too many flavors. See this gold. I could just right now. I could just put these on with that. This more blue than this. That's too crazy. Then you got the pink. You know I'm from Harlem. You know what we do with the pink. But black is my favorite color. The only thing is
black
I don't got
classic, bro.
Nah, I gotta go black. Black is because it's just me. I gotta do that, but I don't got the kicks. So I only came. Hey yo, stop playing. Let's do black, man. Yeah. The kicks with the joint.
Yeah, here you go.
That's crazy. Crazy. Yo, you already know who it is, man. If you don't know, call your cable provider and get your Wi-Fi fixed, man. It's your boy Charlie Clips, battle rap GOAT, Wildin' Out legend, man. And it's an honor to be here. You know what I mean? One of the dopest clothing lines they got out right now. You understand what I'm saying? And you see what it say, right? Hollowman. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm from Harlem. That's where I came from. So, you know, a Harlem man, you know what I mean? Had to show up and wear that Hollowman. You understand what I'm saying? So, man, it's, you know, it's a style. You know, it's not just a style, it's a lifestyle. Make sure you put life in front of style. You know what I mean? And, you know, it's dope, man. The pieces, you know, that I seen in here, you know, pause if needed. You know what I mean? No Diddy, they say now. But if you know, going through the rack over here, the sweatsuits, everything, you know, as soon as I walked in, they blessed me with a sweatsuit, like off the rip. Knew my, you know, one of my favorite colors to get dressed in. They knew what I probably come in here looking for, and just passed it to me. You know what I mean? Even threw me some kicks to go with it, because I had on my Jordans, you know, them blue and white things. And they even, you know, gave me some sneakers. Y'all can see what's going on over here. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, man, it's crazy, man. It's dope. You know what I mean? I'm going to be supporting it down the line and everything, man. So, you know, make sure y'all holler at them, man. Make sure y'all holler at them. Make sure y'all holler at them. Get your best drip. Get your finest. You know what I mean? Not just sweatsuits, jackets, coats, leather jackets, leather trench coats, stuff you never seen before. You understand what I'm saying? So, it's crazy, man. It's fire. I know a lot of clothing lines better than this one. Psych, I lied.